Thank you for taking some time for yourself, and you can wonder how nice it will feel to simply begin. One of the first things you can become aware of is your eyes. Can you notice how, even as you listen to these words in your mind, your eyes already want to soften and perhaps close? And you can be pleased to notice how natural it is to let the tiny muscles around your eyes rest, as though they no longer need to do anything at all. Almost as if they're floating into their own little compartment of rest. And sooner or later, I don't know just when, they may simply close all by themselves. Perfect. Now you might begin to notice your breathing. At first, just observing, but later allowing each breath to slow just a little more. And it may be that you'll enjoy how naturally, how easily the air moves in and flows out. I wonder if you'll be surprised to discover that each exhale feels like placing something down, setting it aside, letting it go into its own compartment, so that with every breath out, your body finds more space for calm. And as your eyes rest, and as your breathing settles, you can be pleased to notice the way your body feels against the surface beneath you. You already know how to let yourself sink down, as if the body has compartments too. Your arms resting, your legs resting, all the weight of the day being folded away into the places it belongs. Perhaps you'll enjoy beginning to notice your muscles. And maybe you've already noticed that when one area lets go, the next follows. At first, the small muscles, like the face and shoulders, but later, the larger ones in the back, the thighs, the calves. Each one softening, compartmentalized, like drawers quietly closing one by one. And you don't even need to be concerned if some of the muscles relax more quickly than others, because sooner or later, all of them find their way into ease. And now, with your permission, I'd like you to have a new experience in a way that meets your needs. It's going to be a pleasure to notice how your attention begins to narrow, absorbing fully into this moment. Perhaps you'll enjoy noticing how effortless it becomes to simply be. Time may begin to feel different, faster or slower, maybe even pausing. It may surprise you to notice little alterations in perception, sounds in the distance becoming soft, like symbols fading into the background. Perhaps even a sense of forgetting, a kind of amnesia for the busyness of the day. as the mind experiments with letting go. And maybe you'll be curious to notice how your mind already knows how to fold things away, like placing papers into 8 little boxes, one for thoughts of work, one for conversations, one for plans, one for worries, each one folded neatly away, until at last there's only one compartment left, and that one, you already know, belongs to sleep. And I don't know if you'll drift now or in a moment, but you may be surprised at how easy it is to let the compartments close, to allow sleep to simply arrive. And when it does, it'll be in the most natural way, as if it was always waiting for you here. And you can begin to wonder when you first notice that sleep isn't one single thing, but many little things, unfolding bit by bit, like compartments opening one after another. And with your permission, I want you to explore that, noticing how in even this moment, right now, it's already part of the preparation for deeper rest. Perhaps you've experienced it before, that moment when your eyes are heavy but not quite closed, and you can notice a gentle unfolding of relaxation. First in one part of the body, then another, like drawers opening one by one, revealing a soft, quiet space inside. And you can be pleased, noticing how your mind naturally moves from one stage to the next, from the thoughts of the day to the quiet awareness of breath, from the sensation of muscles letting go to a deeper, almost dreamy awareness of nothing at all. It's as if time itself stretches and contracts, or even pauses, and yet each stage is exactly where it needs to be. And I wonder if it will surprise you when you realize that each stage of sleep is a compartment of experience. Some light, some deeper, some vivid, some subtle, and all of it gradually guiding you deeper and deeper, bit by bit, drawer by drawer, fold by fold. And you might notice a kind of pleasure in just how natural it is, how effortless it is for the body to move from one stage to another, for the mind to drift, for the breathing to deepen, as though each compartment is saying, this is your time, this is your place, this is where rest belongs. Maybe you notice that. You can allow a sense of curiosity to arise, wondering which compartment comes next, how it will feel, what kind of quietness it will bring without needing to rush. It unfolds just as it should. And sooner or later, I don't know exactly when, you'll notice that the compartments have already aligned, the mind fully folded, the body fully supported, and one final stage remains, a stage that belongs entirely to deep, restorative, effortless sleep. And you can wonder what it's like to let it happen bit by bit, draw by draw, stage by stage, and to discover that sleep isn't something you chase, but something you step into naturally, gradually, beautifully. Imagine a group of people in a bright, creative space. They've designed a web page and it looks perfect. At least that's what they think. Their guide invites them to go further. She hands out sheets of paper and says, fold this into 8 little boxes, 8 spaces, 8 possibilities. And as they fold the paper, you might notice how your mind too can fold things away. A thought here, a memory there, each one given its own little compartment, its own little box. The timer begins, 1 minute, 1 idea, 1 sketch per box. At first the drawings are simple, obvious. But as time passes, something opens. They push past what's familiar into new shapes, new ways, new spaces. And perhaps your mind can do the same. Taking the day's worries, folding them into their own little compartments until there's nothing left but the quiet box reserved for sleep. 8 spaces, 7 holding the noise of the day, and 1, the last one, perfectly clear, perfectly calm, a place where rest comes naturally. And as you imagine this, you can let your mind slip into that final box, the one where everything else has been put away and only sleep remains. Let me tell you a story about someone whose mind was always racing, a celebrity podcaster you may know, Timothy Ferris, a man who has interviewed world-class performers, written bestsellers, invested in startups, and yet for years he struggled with something simple: sleep. His brain was always on, ideas, emails, conversations replaying. And like so many of us, he thought maybe sleep was just out of reach. But then he began to treat sleep like one of his experiments. And what he discovered was sleep could be compartmentalized, just like putting thoughts in boxes, just like folding the day away. First, he learned to decompress the spine, hanging upside down for a few moments, letting the weight of the day drain away, as though his body knew This belongs in the box of waking life, not the box of rest. Then he found the chill pad, a way to cool the body like shutting down a machine. He realized temperature was another compartment, heat belonged to the day, coolness to the night. He discovered the simple ritual of honey and apple cider vinegar drink, a signal, a gentle chemical lullaby telling the body, now we shift compartments, from movement to stillness, from effort to ease. He even found ways to reset the mind, a few minutes of Tetris, or a soft TV show, visuals to override the chatter, placing busy thoughts in one box and leaving a clean, quiet box open for sleep. And then into the darkness, a mask over the eyes, earplugs or white noise in the background, the outside world gently placed away. One more box closed. And as he lay there, Timothy Ferris realized that sleep wasn't about shutting the whole world off at once. It's about putting things in their places. The body here, the mind there, the day folded away, piece by piece, until at last there was only one compartment left, the one that belongs entirely to rest. And when he entered that box, sleep came naturally, effortlessly, as it can for you too. You've probably heard this before, maybe even from the Sleep Foundation itself, but let me tell it to you as a story you already know. There's someone, you could imagine it as yourself, who for a long time wanted to sleep to feel easier. They'd read all the advice, skimmed the articles, nodded along. Yes, of course. A regular bedtime, a cool dark room, no coffee too late in the day. They already knew it. But one night, they decided not just to know it, but to live it. So they started small. They chose a bedtime, the same one every night, began to treat it like a trusted ritual, not a rule but a rhythm. And the body almost gratefully started to remember. They made their bedroom into a kind of sanctuary, cool air, soft darkness, a kind of quiet that feels like a gentle hug. And the phone was left in another room because they already knew the light would only tug them back into the day. And of course, they remembered, don't force it. If sleep didn't come right away, they would simply step into another room, stretch, maybe read a page or two, and then return when the body was ready. No pressure, no struggle. It was all so simple, familiar, the things they have been told before. And as the nights went on, something shifted. The body began to trust a rhythm. The mind began to soften into the darkness. Sleep stopped being a battle and started being a welcome guest. Not because they learned something new. Light folding into shadow. Each stage of sleep stretching and expanding in just the way that suits you. And you can be pleased, noticing how each stage becomes more vivid, yet more effortless, each deeper than the last, until the entire body feels heavy, supported, and the mind feels weightless, spacious, open, ready. And now, perhaps you can allow yourself to imagine stepping back in time, feeling a younger version of yourself, and as you do, offering that self a new resource, sense of complete calm, of total safety, of the ability to sleep deeply, naturally, without effort. And you can notice how that sense grows, spreads, until it fills every compartment, every drawer, every stage, all the way to the present. I wonder if you'll be curious to notice how this resource, this calm, this effortless surrender can be accessed any time in the future, just by remembering the feeling of these compartments closing, the stages aligning, the body sinking, the mind floating. And so now you can allow the compartments themselves to fold, the stages of sleep to complete themselves, the muscles, the breathing, the eyes all to settle, and one final draw, one final stage opens, and it is soft and warm and endless. And as you enter that stage, it's very natural, very effortless, very peaceful, and you don't need to do anything else. Just let yourself drift deeper, calmer, heavier, lighter, in every way that feels perfect for you. And so, bit by bit, draw by draw, stage by stage, you are now fully immersed, fully present, fully ready to sleep. You are perfect, just as you are.